What's going on out there, Twitchland?
Twitchland. What
Thank
rides do they
you.
have in Twitchland?
Tonight they have an adventure in the multiverse.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
I was thinking like the lazy stream, like the lazy river, but it's like the stream.
I did like those. I like those water rides, like at Disneyland.
Yeah, hey, you just take a nap, wake up sunburned, can't move.
Splash your friends when they doze off.
Get up.
Oh, I've been watching all these YouTube videos. Like, it's because, you know, the YouTube algorithm, like that's the whole thing.
Mhm.
But when in my little like patch, I sometimes let it lead me to like sort of kind of interesting and random places. Like I'll watch a vlogger who does one thing and then they do like one video on another subject, and then suddenly I see other people on that subject, and you know, so I watch Jenny Nicholson talk about media properties and theme parks, and suddenly I have all these theme park YouTube video suggestions,
yeah.
which I view as like I'm here for that kind of suggestion. So watching people visit like a cheese theme park in South
Those are
Korea,
so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm there for that.
My wife and I have been watching the ones of the Studio Ghibli theme park, and we're just like, we're going to go there one day, but we can't for a very long time, so we will sit here and watch it like this.
Yeah, I want to go there so bad.
The train wrecks, like the Jenny Nicholson did one on Evermore. I don't know if you've
Mm-hmm.
seen that.
I'm adding that to my watch list right now.
Do it. It is actually like it. Maybe I shouldn't admit this, but like every so often I put it back on because, you know, I've watched it already, but like it's kind of soothing hearing her sort of like calm and interesting commentary about this like dumpster fire.
Apparently my wife has watched this.
She's holding out on you, Trevor.
Save to watch later. There we go. No, I totally get. Have you found Defunct Land yet? Yeah, Defunct Land is one of my favorite YouTube channels because it's mainly talking about Disneyland and the absolute just wild things that have happened there. And somehow Michael Eisner always gets mentioned in an episode. But like they have the dude did a 2-hour video about Fast Pass.
That was what got me to that
3
channel.
times.
It is amazing. I tried to show it to my parents, but my parents like got bored in the like really nitty gritty of the model.
Oh, but it's so fascinating.
I mean, I liked it, and so I like skipped ahead, and by then I'd lost them, so they weren't watching the end. I'm like, no, the end is really funny because like when for you know the audience who's hanging out with us who doesn't necessarily know this video. Like he explains the fast pass system, and then he does a model about whether it lengthens wait times, and then at the end he's like embodied it as this like monster that they need to feed like poor tourists into it to give them like ridiculously long wait lines. So it's chosen few of people who live near the park and come every day can get like the absolute best sort of experience, and they're and like I've only been to Disneyland once, but the sort of like fast pass monster making you wait 3 hours on your feet very much sort of summed up my experience there.
Yeah, that vibes. Wait, so is the TLDR that fast pass actually creates more lines than it solves?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It was a complete lie to get people to think, oh no, we can go to Disneyland because there's no lines anymore, and it was a lie.
Yeah, the model shows that it gets better for a very small percentage of people who know everything about the system, do all this pre-work, like pre-book, like get on the app every single morning. So the kind of person who has that mindset, who goes on a vacation is like, I'm going to optimize, and they're up at 5 a.m. like 3 weeks before, because 3 weeks is when they open the spots, blah, 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 blah. Like that person, whatever percentage of people at Disneyland do that, gets a really peak experience. And if you try to take that peak experience from them, they get pissed. Whereas everybody else, like who's like, I'm going to go to Disneyland. I bought some tickets and I'm going to show up at the gate.
Yeah.
You like, naive casual.
Right. Their experience, they wait in lines that sort of like make it better for the peak people.
Yeah.
And so Disney looking at it like all these people are having terrible experience, but the like really vocal minority like have it so good that they don't want to give that up.
Yeah, I could see that.
So like that, there's where the monster comes in. Like you have to keep feeding casuals into the monster, or it will stop giving.
I have been that casual.
Like
I have been sacrificed to that monster many times.
I have a friend who is one of the Disneyland vloggers that like it's like always like his Instagram videos are all like, here's tips on going to Disneyland stuff. So when my wife and I went in 2021 for my birthday, I just messaged him. I'm like, hey, we haven't been there in like 11 years. What do I need to know? Just sent me a list.
I'd be curious like what it was like for you, because I went in December 2019. And I gather from that the Defunctland video that they use the pandemic as a time to like retool a bunch of stuff. So were the walk-up lines like still just insanity?
So that was kind of the weird thing, because like my wife and I are the type of people who are like, okay, we're gonna get to this theme park super early to beat everyone there. Like we got there and had to wait to get into the parking garage. That's how early we got. We were the first one in line. We were like,
oh wow,
awesome. And yeah, we got into the weird thing was, this was the thing I couldn't figure out, right? So we were the first one at the gate thing. Get up there, walk down. The trams were not functioning at the time because of the pandemic, and they're like, we can't let you sit close to each other. We'll totally let you do it on some dark rides inside the park, but outside we're not gonna let you do it. So we had to walk a mile from the parking garage, the closest parking garage to Disneyland. And by the time we got there, there's like 800 people already at the gate, and we're like, where did you all come from? Do you just live here? And we get in there, and we were able to walk right onto Pirates of the Caribbean, which we were shocked about. And then we got off of that, and we were like, okay, well, let's go to Haunted Mansion. It was closed, and we're like, well, that sucks. Screw it. We're just going to go to the Star Wars Land, because that was the main reason we were there.
Yeah.
We walked onto Millennium Falcon and got to do that. Rise of the Resistance, I think, was closed at the time or something like that. But after that, every line was like 50 minutes, 55 minutes, hour 30. Like we got to do those two rides, and we were like, we're good. We're okay with that. Also because, you know, we were still masked up, but there was a bunch of people around us, and we were like, I don't like this. And I got to make a lightsaber though. Actually, I got to make this lightsaber.
Was there anywhere to sit?
Nice.
Weirdly blurred out.
Yeah.
That was my experience.
It's censored. It's too powerful for Twitch.
The Star Wars Land was that there was nowhere to sit.
Oh yeah. No,
okay. I'm all sort of like sitting on the edge of like a planter that's really too narrow, and it's sort of like
that's where I was sitting. Yeah.
Because I just wanted to eat my freaking food.
Oh, I don't even think
there's nowhere to sit in the like market thing. So
yeah, no, when it got to be like 1 o'clock, because like when we got there in the morning, Star Wars Land, it's like, oh wow, this is like kind of cool. Like we got to walk through that market area, and there was no one there, and we were like, whoa, this is incredible. But you know, 1 p.m. hits, and there's people everywhere, and the mystique is a little gone. You don't quite feel like you're in Batu anymore, because you see like 6 white dudes in cargo shorts everywhere you look.
Well, I did it dumb, like, because I did none of the optimization. I didn't have the app. I hardly did fast passes because I didn't really know about them, etc. So I'm like, well, work is really quiet from Christmas to New Year's, and so I'll just do my vacation then, which I usually do. And I'm like, hey, I've never been to Disneyland. I'll go to Disneyland. And that's when everybody goes to Disneyland. I had no idea. But so I get there, and the first day I was just like, so crowded, and I'm like, okay, like I can't take it anymore on these ride lines. I gotta like go to the bathroom, and then I'm in the bathroom line.
Yeah.
And so I was like sitting at the front of the park, and there was like an announcement or a posting or something that like they were full, so if you went out, they couldn't guarantee you could get back in. I was like, shit. So I'm like sitting there on a planter at the front of the park being like, I can't leave, but I really want to leave. Oh god. Right. And so I came away and I went back to my hotel and I was like, maybe this is just how it be. And then I go online to the social media and like all the local like Twitters and stuff are covering that Disneyland shut, it reached capacity, blah blah blah. And I go back in time in Twitter and something, and that happens like once every other year. So that is not a thing that like was usual. It was just the time of year, and I don't know if they would even like now. They probably have different rules for how many people they let in after the pandemic. But I was just like, that was a dumb. And of course, my hotel was 45 minutes off site because I didn't want to pay for parking. And at some point, like you parked so far, you had to walk in anyway. So, like I'm like, okay, no more. Now I gotta walk 45 minutes back to my hotel.
Rumpus Imperator in the chat said, okay, but let's talk about what's really exciting about Disney World right now, the Star Cruiser. I've zero interest in that thing.
I don't know what it is.
No, I don't either.
It is a Star Wars hotel that they have designed the interior to look as if you were on a Star Wars spaceship.
Oh, yeah, I know that one now.
Is a building, like a normal but except windowless, so it's very creepy building.
So I was waiting for one of the YouTubers to like do a video of it. Maybe it's up on their paid site or something. Is it on one of the paid services?
No, there's some, I don't know which YouTubers did it, but they did several people got to go on it just before they opened it to the public and go on there. And
so I should search for
there's you can pay $5,000 for one drink on that cruise thing. So
$5,000 for one drink?
But you get that little vault thing that Werner Herzog had in The Mandalorian that was actually an ice cream maker back during Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, so you get like a novelty glass?
No. It's a weird giant box thing that they bring you the drink in and then press a button and go.
Do I get to keep the box?
Yes. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. $5,000. You better be keeping the box, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I would steal the box for that if they wouldn't. Like, I'd be out of there. Like,
yeah.
Honey, open your purse.
Rumpus Imperator points out that it is essentially a 2-day Star Wars LARP. That is true.
Yeah.
However,
but like in an underground prison, is what I'd heard.
Sort of.
It's all underground, and like the hotel rooms are like really.
Yeah, so the
hotel
rooms are pretty small. One of the weird design things that I guess isn't weird, but it's because they're like, it's all about immersion. Like, we're trying to immerse you. But everything is made out of plywood in your hotel room and just painted to look like it's a Star Wars thing.
Sounds like a rush job.
Yeah, I don't know. But the thing that irritated me about it, because you're paying like thousands of dollars to do this. Like, I think the cheapest it is $5,000 for the ticket. But the thing is, though, is when you go on, you have to choose. They're like, do you want to be Resistance or First Order? So already you're like, do you want this plot line or this plot line? And then once you pick that, then you are assigned a role, and that role has its own plot line. So it's kind of an interesting thing on paper where they're like, they have like 30 different plot lines going on at once, but that also means you only get one small segment of the story.
So you got to go back with another expensive ticket.
You to go back and drop 5,000 for another 2 days. Yeah.
So if I pick a different side from my girlfriend, will they like separate us and we're forced to like experience different storylines in different areas?
No. When it's groups like that, like they group them together and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I get you could probably like, because I guess the really cool thing is that they are very good about like letting you switch and get what you want out of it, because they kind of realize that if we just force someone into a story they don't care about and they have a bad time, they're not going to come back. So you can actually go up to someone that's like walking around with an iPad and like, hey, I would like to not be in this storyline anymore.
If you are the type of person to be able to pay $5,000 for a ticket to go to this experience, you are also the type of person that would be a nightmare to deal with. If you were complaining to management. So I absolutely believe that.
Yep. Yeah.
I just like the idea. Like, I don't want to be a Jedi anymore.
Yeah.
All right, you're a Sith now. Cool. I'm gonna go hang out with them.
Just that easy.
Actually, I don't want to be a Sith anymore. Like, what do you want to do? I don't know. Can I go back to the Jedi? Like, well, you kind of burn those bridges. Like, yeah, I don't really care. I paid $5,000. I'm going back over that way. That's kind of
That's right.
Original Angston in the chat says Karen with force powers scary.
I know, right? Yeah, just imagine you're in a spaceship as like a poor, probably underpaid actor, trying your best to live out your best Star Wars LARP, and you're just in there, trapped with all those Karens.
Yeah.
Karen drops her cash for like diamonds to wear the country club ball. I don't think Karen is on the.
No, you don't think so? Okay.
No, I mean, I'm sure there are people who are just as big nightmares, but like when I think of the like quintessential Karen, I don't see her on that kind of ride.
The quintessential Karen.
Yeah. See, I need to get a ticket just so I can see how many times I can switch sides before they tell me to stop.
See,
'Cause I don't need
there's an
that.
example of the kind of
You should make your goal to experience every storyline in one run.
Oh,
just
in
speed
one
run it.
like speed run it.
Yeah, switch sides
All
just
right.
like every
All
other
right, I'm
moment.
gonna do a fundraiser for what, $5,000?
Watch me speed run this Star Wars one.
Yeah.
The entire time I'm gonna have a GoPro on me or something. Like,
Yeah,
oh
when-
yes.
hey guys,
when
today
you put
I'm
up the
gonna be a
video,
Jedi.
you got to put those like timer things that speedrunners have. Where it's like got the
Oh.
plot line, it's like 16 minutes. Okay, done.
Done. And it just has it all down. Like, became a chef. Done.
Yeah. Oh my
Uh,
god, that reminds me of the best of that Star Wars MMORPG, that very first one.
Oh,
Was
Galaxies?
it Star Wars Galaxies? Yeah.
I love Star
Oh,
Wars.
I know, same. You could be a chef.
You could just be a dancer. You
You
could
could
just
be a
be a
dancer.
merchant that set up a tent in the fields of Naboo and you're selling some old Clone Wars armor. That's all you do.
Yep.
It was great.
It was glorious.
Fun.
It was the best. I'm so sad. I'm so sad when they basically like they cracked open like the Jedi class at some point, and then they essentially made it really easy to be
I
a
have this
Jedi.
conversation way more often than you actually think I would.
Oh,
but yeah.
really?
No, that apparently that was George Lucas's suggestion, where he was just like, "Nah, just let everybody be a Jedi."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
also-
wants to be a Jedi.
It was such a weird extreme too, because the one option was let everyone be a Jedi during the Galactic Civil War, which doesn't make sense. But then their original plan was make an algorithm that when you create a character randomly decides if you will at one point ever have the chance to be a Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have force sensitive at all.
Yeah, and then if you actually were able to do that, then you had to get 1,000,000 XP to get it.
Yeah. Which made like the very first person to discover it like quite exciting.
Oh yeah.
I remember it made news waves in the forums.
Yup.
A Jedi is born.
I have raised 1 million experience points. Finally, the galaxy is within my hands.
It's
Meanwhile,
like,
it's
actually, we're just gonna make it easy.
yeah, yeah.
Damn it.
Representative
Canceling my sub.
did say that that what I'm talking about is different from the experience that their brother had. But they also said that the factions are Jedi, New Republic, First Order, and Scoundrels. And that sounds like they have changed stuff. Because again, I watched these videos from when it first opened, which I think was in 2021. It does not surprise me at all to hear that they changed stuff up then, because the other stuff didn't sound like people were enjoying it too much.
Yeah. I just want to be a Mandalorian. I want my own little baby Yoda.
I just want to be a chef. Actually, like, I'm just gonna go there and be like,
Oh my
all right,
God.
I want to take the chef route. And they're like, what? And then you just see me in the kitchen, like cooking. Like, this is so much fun. I'm so glad I paid $5,000 to do this.
I just
We-
want to like not have to LARP on my vacation.
I'm
I'm
You
not a
do
LARPer
LARP,
at
yeah.
Granted, this
Wait,
is
what
where
happened
you
to
and I are
vampires?
friends.
What happened to your vampire days, Rhiannon?
Well, the reason I was in that LARP was because like I didn't know where any other like TTRPGs were going on. So I was
Mhm.
like, I need some RP. This LARP is heavily advertised
Yeah.
everywhere. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
there.
okay.
And then I met people in it. And then I played TTRPGs with them.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
I'm so the wrong personality for LARPing.
Like the closest I've ever got to a LARP was a Renaissance fair, and like here's the thing. I love Star Wars and I love fantasy stuff, but there was only so much that I could take of someone's bad British accent pointing at my shorts and going, "What are these strange pantaloons you have on?" And I could see I love Star Wars, but I could totally see myself getting tired of that shtick so fast.
Isn't that like the entirety of Everfair? Or
yes,
was that
is the entirety of the bringing it back around.
Yeah.
Oh, Evermore.
Evermore. Yeah.
Like, because if everybody in the chat, I urge you to go watch this too. But if you watch it, like, it is not only sort of badly done, and it sounds like there's not a lot of support for the performers, and so I wouldn't want to like support that by giving them my money. But like, even beyond that, if it was like fully working, it sounds like my worst nightmare because they don't really give them much in the way of a script, and so as a person attending, like, you kind of don't know who to ask about what, and so you're just sort of like walking around and falling into like awkward conversation with these people who are in character. Like, what do you even say to them? Oh my god, go away!
No, I got you. That was the same thing with me at the Red Fair, where I was just like, at first I'm like, oh, this is really nice, and then again, just so many bad British accents I can take.
Well, you must have been like the Ren Fair that I will get you to, Yang Yang. One of these years.
One of these days. You promised me a turkey leg.
Ooh, the turkey leg was good.
Yeah.
The one in sort of Western Washington is very much more sort of like you go and there's all the like market stalls and there's all the food stalls and then you have the performers, but like everybody else is just like walking around costumed if they want to, but it's not really like super interactive or LARPy. It's like as a tourist, I'm coming in and I'm wearing a cool like a corset because I want to, and then I buy my food, and then I like go and I sit and I watch like the close-up magician or something. And so or like sit in the stands and watch the joust happen. But I much sort of prefer that because it's sort of like a theming of the things that you're buying or like watching or the performers are doing, but they're not like coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Halloween. Sounds fun.
I realized that actually going to a LARP or Ren Fair up there would be really cool because it would actually look like a magical forest instead of me down here in Southern California where it was in the desert and there was a soul tree.
Wow.
The tree.
There was the tree.
The magical tree.
But again, it's so weird because like again, I was in the middle of summer. I'm not putting on an outfit. I don't like being hot and sweaty. Not me. So I looked like the touristy tourist with like sunscreen all over me. And we're walking around on the dirt. And there's somebody over here just with a bad British accent talking about my shorts. And I'm like, no. But in Oregon, I think I could put up with it more because I wouldn't be hot and pissy.
I have to, like, full disclosure, like, I do want Yang Yang to want to come to it, but the one that's in Washington, it's like it's on a field, so we're not really like forested either. It's like clearly it used to be a farm, or it is a farm in the off season, and there are years where it like pours rain, so you probably should bring an umbrella. And then there are years where like there's so much sun that you just like can't get away from because like you're sort of out in the field and the like tents and stuff.
As long as there's a turkey leg, I will endure.
Yeah.
They always have turkey legs.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'd just be eating all the food there. I need to go to these.
He is a human.
Heck yeah.
Disposal, so.
My favorite is the meat pies, actually.
Ooh.
That sounds
There's
good.
not a lot of places in the US to get just like meat pies on the hoof. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically after this hangout, I feel like I really want to go to the Star Wars experience and like act out the life of my Star Wars Galaxies characters.
Yes.
And also, I just
want what's great? Because I just have Star Wars stuff all around me. I got the gun that my Star Wars Galaxy characters had. So, this was... I may have forgotten that I pre-ordered this and it showed up at my door last week.
I still just love how the blur censors it.
Yeah. But I think what's also hilarious is like whatever nerd topic we talk about, Trevor's like, oh, I happen to have all of these props just like
Let's try
within
another one.
easy reach distance.
Let's see what I can do.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
Yeah.
This should be like a game with the viewers. The viewers throw out an IP.
Name that game.
Yeah.
I got something and it's bugging me. I know.
Is it Keyblade?
No, the one that I made when I was 15 broke. Oh, this is bugging me. I know I have something Kingdom Hearts around here.
Well, you're gonna have to wait till next week because right now we're at 6:26 and we need to run an ad. I just want to quickly remind everybody that's here right now, we are running a giveaway for Phoenix Dice, a set of dice of your choice. If you are the winner, ! Ticket into the chat if you want to enter. Anybody in the world may enter, so
especially if
throw in that. Yeah,
Even
extra luck. Until next week, and then we'll get to see or 2 weeks from now, and we'll get to see what Trevor's Keyblade thing is, maybe, or Kingdom Hearts thing is.
Yeah, like I said, it broke.
Yeah.
I'll get
All right. See you soon.